Please note that I am not a licensed financial planner or advisor. The information provided in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered professional financial advice. While I strive to provide accurate and up-to-date information, all content is based on my personal opinions, experience, and research. Always consult with a qualified financial advisor or professional before making any significant financial decisions. Your financial situation is unique, and a professional can provide advice tailored to your specific needs. Thank you. Happy New Year 2025, good people. I hope that you had an amazing holiday. I hope that the Lord blessed you and gave you the opportunity to connect with family, with friends, with yourself, with some quiet space, with some loud, wonderful space and areas and times. And I hope that the end of the year was everything that you intended it to be. So happy New Year 2025. Now what? Hey, resetters, it's been a minute, but as I told you all, I don't want to just put out a podcast just to put out a podcast. I absolutely want to come to you and bring you information where I feel like it is valued and it is needed, and I have something to say. So I personally and intentionally did not give you this whole big Happy New Year podcast right on in the wake of January 1st, or I didn't do it on January 1st because I know naturally a lot of us gravitate to the New Year's resolutions and this really big energy around the new year and new beginnings and what have you. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to speak to the part of ourselves that's not emotionally charged in that way. So I gave it, a week or two for us to kind of settle into the new year, for the Christmas tree to possibly come down and all the decorations and the home to start, returning back to normal. I purposely did that because I want to talk to the self that is not so emotionally charged, is now back into the, okay, here, what's my routine? What do I need to do? That's who I'm talking to today. So I just want to bring you greetings and blessings, let you all know I missed you. Definitely my hands were not idle, not being on the podcast for a little bit, but I knew what I was going to come back to you with was going to be really powerful and really mighty. It has been in my spirit bringing this to you all, and was confirmed in church service today. I'm coming to you on Sunday the 12th, and I'm like, okay, I can't wait to hurry up and get home because I got to put this down for the podcast. So what have I been up to, y'all? The Reset Your Money website is back up. What I thought was going to be a kind of a I can't talk here. What I thought was going to be a quick little turnaround was a lot. Oh my gosh, it was overwhelming. It was anxiety filling, and it brought me to tears when I tell you, wasn't necessarily blood, but some sweat and some tears went into reimagining this site. So I just want to shout out my amazing partner, person who did my first site and also put this site into motion, which is Unconditional Marketing and Co. Val Casada. Val, love you, love you, love you. This was a passion project, but it also was a project that brought out some really trying things out of me. I learned that, I needed someone really, truly to hold my hand in that process. Now, I ended up kind of going it alone for the most part toward the end of the process, which was a lot of the back end functionality. Putting a website up and making it really cute and really pretty, there's a lot of work that goes into that. But that part I'm going to say is like the nice part. Like that's the nice to have. That's you got a new house and you're putting furniture in it and you want to know, okay, what color goes here and where should I hang the picture up? That's that part. The hard part for me is all of the mechanics of trying to get this site to work, especially because for the last few months, I have been working on some tools for you all. I am, really, really passionate about budgeting. I like to know what I have available, what I can put away, what I can do. How do I create peace with my money, knowing that I have money stacked away when it's needed? I can go grab a dress, go to eat, and I'm not eating and I'm not shopping in angst. And so that's what fuels me. And so I have been looking for a lot of different tools, even before starting Reset, officially. But I've, bought some tools from different sites and what have you. And none of the tools ever had everything together I was looking for. So I had, this one for budgeting, but this one was paying off debt, but this is, helping me save. Like I had a lot of different things that were not connected and cohesive. And so, last year it was like, well, why don't you just build what you're looking for, Janine? And so I have done just that, y'all. So I have been busy. I will tell you all a little bit more about those tools in just a few. But like I said, my hands have not been idle. I have been building the back end, learning about all the different connections and functions and code and all these different things that make a 30-second process that you all go through of, oh, I like that. I want that. Let me put my credit card number in. Let me say how many I want and let me check out and get the thing. Baby, there's a whole lot of processes and a whole lot lot of procedures that go into giving you a really powerful 30-ish minute, I keep saying 30 minutes, a 30-ish second process when you've made a decision. So all that to say, I am so excited 2025 is here. I am so excited that Reset, we're coming soon. That is down. And there is a site I am proud of now. It more so represents my personality. It's sassy, it's spicy, it's a little bougie, it's fancy, it's all the things that I relate to because I want to bring me to you. So, with that being said, www.resetyourmoney.com is up for your consumption. Go there, take a look, browse through it, enjoy it. If you find any bugs or kinks, let me know. Send me an email. You can do that at Janine@resetyourmoney.com. You can do that at support@resetyourmoney.com or info@resetyourmoney.com. And those things I will see. So I'm super excited about that. I'm super excited about the tools that I've been able to bring you. But what I came to say today and what I got confirmed in my spirit, confirmed in the word today was the message from my pastor this morning. So Pastor Gregory D. Hunter of the Olivet Oakland Institutional Missionary Baptist Church, and it was talking about neglect. Now, I've mentioned and I've shared my story. I may have done it either on like Instagram or Facebook. Not sure if I shared my story here. So for those that may be listening to this podcast for the very first time, I will share my story. But man, Pastor dropped some nuggets that just was like, okay, Lord, okay, Lord, okay, Lord. It's time to talk about this, especially in the new year. And what he talked about is that neglect is a destructive and sneaky thing. Neglect is a destructive and sneaky thing, and it just gets better from there. So, I have services, I have things that I have available to my clients before it really was a lot of working one-on-one with me. And I know that's a very small, specific set of people who are tired about not being in unity with their money. And it's a small group of people I work with because I give you my time for an extended amount of time. Like we work on the things of you. I don't give you content and education for all. We talk about content and education for you in some of those services. And what I shared was about being neglectful. A lot of us, and I'm gonna speak about me as well, but I know I'm talking to the people in the room. A lot of us have been neglectful with our finances. Well, what do you mean, Janine? Action, right? Sometimes there's a time for us to take action. Sometimes we know that God is telling us to take an action, but we take an action, That's called inaction. Got to give that nugget to my pastor as well. Inaction is also an action when we know that we are to move and we are to do something and hesitation comes in. I don't know. Procrastination comes in. It is so dangerous. And inaction and hesitation, when hesitation leads to inaction, is so costly. Let me tell you how that's manifested in one of my situations that cost me dearly. Because sometimes, as my pastor confirmed for me and what had already been in my spirit, sometimes hesitation can turn into neglect. Let me say that again. Sometimes our hesitation can turn into neglect, especially when we know what we know, what we know, what we need to do. It can turn into neglect, and that is sinful. So here's where I learned that lesson, and it was costly for me. I would say about 2 years ago now, when I am in a state of overwhelm, and what I'm recognizing about myself is that my desk will start to grow, and there will be a folder open here and some papers here, and just things will start to get out of organization. Like things will start to get out of an organized state. And interestingly enough, my coworkers, when we were having a session, they confirmed that for me. They were like, when we know you're overwhelmed, if we ask you for something, you start to like look and shift and turn over things on your desk. We can tell that. And I had no idea that that tell of me, of whatever my mental space was at the time, that was a tell that was visual for people. And I received that, and I'm appreciative of that. And so I'm very mindful. Like right now, I got a little stack of papers to the side, very intentional. But my intentionality of that can grow. And at the time, I do remember just being in a state of overwhelm. I had like a stack of papers in one chair that needed to be taken care of. And I had this over here, and this was pulling my attention. And I could never get to, filing some things away or opening my mail. And what happened is some years before that, I had had a termite. I don't know if it was an infestation. I just know I had saw some shavings in my house and was like, Lord, are there termites? Because I do live in an area where termites can be prevalent. And if your neighbor has termites, 9 times out of 10, you probably will too. They will probably move on to your home as well. And so my whole house had to be tented. I remember, I had a new, pretty new baby, pretty young baby at the time. So this was some years back. And we had to take, his crib mattress and take certain things out of the house. And literally they tented the whole entire house. And we had to live with my mom for maybe about a week or so while they put this, I'm gonna call it poison, but yeah, they had to pretty much put this poison to kind of kill all the termites that would be in my home, and then also make sure that all of that stuff had dissipated and it was safe to return. Well, you can imagine that's a very costly service. But what are you going to do? Are you going to make the investment and take care of the problem? Or are you going to neglect your investment because taking care of the problem might be a little costly and then let things lead up to a whole nother situation? My pastor equates this to hearing the whistle of having your brakes done and ignoring it, to hearing the scraping and the grinding of now needing to not only have your brakes done, but also your rotors, and now neglecting a small problem now has resulted in the fact that now you have a much bigger bill and you can't drive your car really. Now, it'd be crazy to drive it on rotors. But, at the time, it was like, it's a no brainer. I'm going to protect my investment. We're going to make sure these termites are gone. So that wasn't the neglectful piece. We did what we needed to do. But what I also had in that purchase was an ongoing yearly commitment of paying, I think it might have been $200 a year or 100 and something. It was pretty minimal. But keeping that up, if there was ever another termite situation again and treatment or anything like that came up, because I had already really heavily invested in tenting the house and doing that service with this company before, as long as I had kept up that monthly cost or that yearly coverage, then I would never have to pay that amount of money again. Like that would take care of it. They would come out for no cost. And in my overwhelm, in being neglectful, in procrastinating, not taking care of putting away papers, not opening my mail and filing it away, whatever I needed to do, somehow I missed a year. Somehow I missed renewing. And guess what? Lo and behold, maybe a year or two later, I had a termite situation. Well, I was like, oh, I'm so glad, I have this program. Yay, yay, yay. And so I call the company and they're like, hey, we don't have you on this program anymore. And I was like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And she was like, we sent you a renewal, but we never got it in 2021. So, we don't have you on this program. And if you do have a service, you're going to have to pay for that again. Now, I could be mad. I could be mad at her, given the information, but the only person really I could be mad at is myself because going through my papers. Now, here's a level of emergency that makes me take action and go through these papers and be like, I don't remember seeing nothing. Let me sent me how in the world I had let months go by at that time and not seen this envelope to open my mail that had sent me the renewal. I think they might have even sent two. And somehow it just got lost on my desk. And because I want to be diligent and take care of, my investment, take care of the home that we live in, what you going to do? You going to just let termites do what they do, or are you going to spend the money? Because either I was going to spend the money with a company that I knew had taken care of me before, or I'm going to still spend the same money with a whole nother company. It was just going to be what it was going to be. But that always reminded me of how being neglectful is costly. It's costly and it's avoidable. It's avoidable. So as my pastor says, right? Neglect and, it's a sneaky thing. Once again, hesitation. Oh, I don't know, maybe not. Analysis paralysis is what I call it. And then deciding, oh, well, I'm not just going to do anything. That is sinful. And it's a sneaky thief because guess what happened? So here I am coming out of the pocket again with, I think the service was $2,000. At that point of what I needed to have done, I didn't have to tint the whole house, but I did have to have another type of more in-depth service done. That $2,000 wasn't accounted for. So what it did is it made me take from somewhere that I did not have an intention to take from. So it robbed me of a vacation that year because I know we didn't do none of that. I know we were just come out of COVID, but we still were trying to do something, with our family. But it robbed me out of coffers that I hadn't intended to spend. And so there now I'm playing catch up because now I got to put money back. But that money would have been allocated somewhere else. I could have paid some more debt off, but no, I'm putting money back in some place that it didn't need to come from. And so it's a sneaky thief. It's a sneaky thief. And sometimes our hesitation, and I get it, I understand procrastination, I deal with it. Sometimes that sneaky thief is fear. It really is an underroot of fear. What if I make the wrong decision? What if this happens? What if that happens? Instead of taking our hands off of things and listening and being obedient to what God is saying. And so here's where I'm going to talk about these tools that I've created for you all. When I could not find what I was looking for in the form of a budgeting tool, in the form of a savings tool, in the form of a debt payoff tool, I was referred to an amazing person, Miss Sarah Morton, who created it for me, which really honestly created it for you. And so you all, if you venture on www.resetyourmoney.com, I have created some amazing tools I absolutely love. And what I'm going to recommend to you all is the navigation dashboard. And really, truly the navigation bundle, but it starts with the navigation dashboard. So I'm going to recommend the navigation bundle. And if you are someone who wants a tool where you don't have to do calculations, you want to be able to check off when you have taken care of a responsibility. You want to be able to see, where is my money going? You want to be able to see, well, this is what I'm going to budget for. This is what I think I have versus this is what actually happened, and be able to really look at that and see, what exactly am I doing? Am I overspending? Am I budgeting enough money? Am I budgeting too much money? If you are someone who wants to see, well, how much money do I have left over when I take care of my needs? Do I have money for my wants? Do I have money to pay off debt? And then be able to see, how can I pay off debt more effectively? Where can my money go to? What debt can I actually focus on? And then also, what am I saving for? Am I saving for that vacation, for my wellness? Am I saving for, whatever your heart's desire of where you want to save for? Am I saving for my very first emergency fund? Am I saving to replenish my emergency fund? Am I saving for my household savings? Because we all should have money that's liquid, that's not just tied up into everything. If any of this is resonating to you all, this is what I created. The navigation bundle is your budgeting tool that talks to your savings tool, that even talks to your debt tool. Because I didn't want three different things. I wanted a tool that flowed and talked and had the calculations done for you, so that what you're doing, you can see it all the way through. You can see, well, how I'm budgeting and how I'm spending affects how I'm saving, affects how I'm actually paying off my debt. Maybe that is the navigation bundle. And I am so excited to be able to bring that to you. The other thing is that, once again, you all know, for one, there may be people, this is all I need. I just need a tool. I have the determination. I have the insight, and I have the wherewithal that this is not a phase. This is not just me getting excited and saying, I'm going to do what I'm going to do again this year, but I really just need a tool. I got the motivation. I just need a tool to help me do it. Beautiful. This is what I created for y'all. The navigation bundle, have at it. For my folks who know I need a coach, I need a little bit more hand holding. I need some insight. I need someone to talk to me and look at what I'm dealing with from a bird's eye view. Because right now I'm literally like on the concrete with this. I need somebody to look a little more above my head, that's not so emotionally connected to my debt, and spot out any blind spots. These are the programs that I have in place. The transformation, I've had this one in place really, honestly, before Reset became Reset. This is how I've worked with a lot of different people before there was a website and LLC and all of that. It was just like, hey, you struggling? Let's talk. What we got? This is what I see. Let me create your budget. The transformation is that. So it is a 12-week, highly immersive, me and you, one-on-one, walking through your numbers, walking through your debts, walking through your aspirations, and walking with God. That is the transformation program. And I don't take a whole lot of clients because I literally am spending that time pretty consistently with you and helping you create the behaviors that I had to create to get that 529 credit score up, to not have no's be my reality unless it was from God, but not of my own doing. It's one thing to get a no and God's like, no. It's another thing to get a no because you've been neglectful and you've been irresponsible, and your credit score or what have you reflects your history. That's a whole nother thing. And so this is what I did. And so I share with you all of the knowledge, all of my missteps, all of my reading, my research, my all of that. I share that with you specific to your situation. That is on the website as well. Then there's also It Takes a Village. And this is the group coaching program. This one is brand spanking new, because for some folks, the transformation may be just a little bit more than what they might need. For others, it's exactly what you need. But the It Takes a Village program, this is where we come together through our Facebook group, and I give you all some insights and some education from a holistic standpoint. So you're coming together, we're building community together, and you are not divulging your money or what have you, but I'm giving you information that you can apply independently. You can actually apply the concepts, you can ask questions. You get me in that particular environment, but it's not a specific, hey, tell me what's going on and let's work through this. It is a collective, more so classroom environment. And that, I've been doing that for over 25 years. So it is in my wheelhouse, is what I do professionally as well as personally with this business. And it's a little bit more affordable if you're not looking for the one-on-one help. And then last but not least, what is coming is that person that says, hey, I might not want to join the group coaching and I'm not quite ready for the transformation, but hey, if you can just like record the stuff in your mind, Janine, if you can just put all of that down in a course, I would eat that up for breakfast, right? And I could do it at my own pace. And so the At Your Pace program will be coming. And so because of the website took a little bit long, I kind of defected from that for a minute to make sure that the functionality of the website was in place, because I was not going to leave this unfinished website in 2024. It would be birthed in the name of Jesus in 2025, but that will soon to come as well. So what I'm saying, folks, is if you've been neglectful, if any of this resonates with you, if you have been hesitant, if you know that you know that you know that God has said you need to take a step in the right direction with what I have given you, the resources I have provided for you, and you need to be a better steward of your money, preferably the 90. You need to be a steward of the 90, because I pray that you are doing your 10% tithe to him, because we cannot be worshipers and believers and be robbers at the same time. We absolutely have that. Thank you, Pastor, again. That is our saying in church. I cannot be a worshiper and a robber at the same time. The two they just do not go together. So if you are struggling with your 90, if you are struggling with your 100, let's just keep it 100%, let's keep it real, then you need to go to www.resetyourmoney.com. I am here for you. I'm here for you because I know what that feels like to not be in synchronicity and harmony with your money. To be feeling like every time I get paid, I am broke before I even log in to see my balance, because I know that it has to go out. Ooh, that's not a good feeling. And that's not what God promised to us. That's not that is not where he wants us to be. And so I'm passionate about sharing my experience, because I understand what it feels like on the other side, where you have enough and you have more than enough, that you can bless people, that you can have the things that you desire, that the Lord says you can have needs and wants. I just know what that feels like to be in that place. So if you are in that place, go onto the website, send me a message. Told you can reach me at Janine, Janeane at resetyourmoney.com. You can go to info at resetyourmoney.com or support at resetyourmoney.com. And those messages will come to us. If you have any concerns, if you are someone who deals with procrastination, if you are someone who lets hesitation block you and stop you from the blessings you know you're supposed to be getting on the other side of this type of change, then send me a message. But really, go in there and do what you need to do. Pray on it. Lord, should I partner with Janine? Lord, is this something that you would have me do? And it may be me, it may be someone else, but I impart with you to not let yourself be and feel like you may feel and be now, and let 2026 come by. Because the only thing that don't stop is time. Right? And the pain is going to be the same. Either you're going to have the pain of change or the pain of staying the same. I'm ministering to myself as well, y'all, because I'm on my soapbox right now. But I'm really passionate about that. So I'm going to close this out. I have created this website for you so that you have somewhere to feel safe. You have somewhere that you know that as a Christian, as someone who loves the Lord, someone who knows that they should be living better, that there's a whole lot of influencers and a whole lot of gurus and all of that out there. And then there's me as well, who knows that without the Lord and without good sound wisdom and knowledge, then nothing can come to fruition. And I really want to make sure that I can partner with you, as well as us really, really partnering, going before the Lord, for you to have what he wants you to have. Because I sure want to have what he wants me to have. Amen. All right, you all. I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in when I actually publish. Once again, when I publish, I want it to be about something for you. And this is how we're setting the tone for 2025. I'm coming to you bold and I'm coming to you for real. And I want you to come correct. All right. I love you all. God bless you. And I'll see you in the website and I'll talk to you soon. You're listening to God Can I Hold a Dollar, the podcast brought to you from Reset Budgeting and Financial Coaching with Janine Victor McDade, owner and principal consultant. The podcast that bridges real world conversations, no shame, no shade, and the word of Christ all in one.